подозрительной. Вы їсти себя тряпку перебили отерки, вода до охладней несможный ароматочек.
Thank you for joining Storytime with Tanya for part 11 of The Ledger Line. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much for your support. The streets of Manhattan were unusually quiet that crisp autumn morning. The normal racket of honking taxis and chattering pedestrians replaced by an eerie calm, a stark contrast to the hurricane of chaos that had engulfed Titan Financial's glass and steel headquarters in the months prior. Nadia sipped bitter black coffee from a chipped NYU mug in her modest fifth floor walk-up, scrolling through news feeds on her cracked tablet screen. Bold red headlines recounted the arrests of C-suite executives, the tearful resignations of middle managers, and the company's stock value plummeting like a stone dropping from the 45th floor. Titan's once mighty empire had fractured along fault lines of greed, its polished chrome and marble exterior shattered beyond repair. Mila arrived, her caramel complexion ashen with fatigue, carrying her battered laptop and a small stack of dog-eared documents stuffed into a manila folder. She dropped into the squeaking wicker chair across from Nadia, her navy blazer once pristine, now wrinkled at the elbows. "It's finally over," she said, though her husky tone carried more bone-deep exhaustion than relief. "Not really," Nadia replied, setting her coffee mug down on the water-ringed table with a decisive clink. "We're alive, sure, and we've exposed the fraud, but now what?" Mila shrugged, her silver earrings catching the pale sunlight streaming through dusty blinds. "I've got a few freelance consulting gigs lined up with startups in Brooklyn. Nothing major. It'll keep me afloat until spring. How about you?" Nadia sighed, twisting a lock of her dark hair around one finger. Her meteoric climb to junior CFO, once seemed inevitable, was over before it could begin. Recruiters who once bombarded her LinkedIn now avoided her calls, whispering about her association with the scandal, even though she had done the right thing, sacrificing everything. "I've been blacklisted," she said bluntly, the words hanging in the air like smoke. They shared a long silence broken only by distant sirens, reflecting on what they had lost and what they had gained. Their once promising careers in corporate finance was shaken to the foundation, their hard-won reputations tangled in a sticky web of industry gossip, but their integrity remained intact, a small flame that refused to be extinguished. Mila's expression softened, crow's feet crinkling at the corner of her amber eyes. "Well, at least we still have each other, and we can build something new, something we control." Nadia smiled faintly, the first real warmth she had felt in weeks spreading through her chest like honey. "Something ethical," she whispered, reaching across to squeeze Mila's ink-stained fingers. "Something that actually matters." One year later, a small office in the 23rd floor of the Bradbury Building hummed with quiet activity. A hand-carved wooden sign on the frosted glass door read, "Arroyo and Martinez, Integrity Solutions." Inside, Nadia and Mila hunched over their work. The blue light of their laptops illuminated their focused expressions, manila folders stacked in color-coded piles, and The rich aroma of Colombian dark roast drifted from their vintage percolator. Their first major client, a minority-owned quantum computing startup, stepped hesitantly through the door, his eyes widening at the gleaming mahogany desk and the framed financial certificates lining the exposed brick walls. Nadia rose from her ergonomic chair, extending a manicured hand with the same poise that had intimidated bank executives, while Mila's crow's feet deepened with her reassuring smile. "Welcome to our firm," Nadia said, her voice carrying the same confidence that had once echoed through Titan's boardroom. "We specialize in creating financial transparency that eliminates even the shadow of impropriety." Mila gestured toward the leather client chair, adding, "We'll build safeguards into your accounting processes that protect your vision as much as your assets." As the client settled in, clutching his leather portfolio, the two friends locked eyes across the antique desk they'd found at an estate sale. The faint wrinkle above Nadia's eyebrow and the slight stiffness in Mila's shoulder served as physical reminders of their ordeal, but the steely determination in their gazes reflected how they transformed those wounds into wisdom. The client departed with a signed contract tucked in his portfolio, leaving Nadia and Mila alone in the quiet aftermath of their first major professional victory. Their shoulders relaxed simultaneously as they exchanged glances across the antique desk, their expressions softening from professional composure into genuine smiles of shared accomplishment. Nadia chuckled, the sound like wind chimes, as she leaned back in her chair. "Next time we uncover a 9-figure discrepancy, let's make sure we're on the beneficiary end," she quipped. Mila's laugh cascaded like falling water as she shook her head, her silver earrings catching the light. "We'll stick to our moral compass first, remember? That's our true north." The afternoon sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting golden rectangles across the reclaimed hardwood floor and highlighting the framed photo of them at their office warming party. Their ledger had been rewritten, not with the red ink of embezzlement, but with the black ink of integrity, the blue ink of loyalty, and the green ink of second chances. For Nadia and Mila, this pristine office was merely the first chapter. The ghosts of Titan Financial no longer haunted their dreams. Their horizon stretched before them like an open road. Together, they had acclimatized a tale of corporate greed to one of feminine empowerment, and not even the shadow of a fallen financial giant could dim their hard-won light. The end. Thank you so very much for joining me for all parts of this story called The Ledger Line. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your support.